Our next part is we're going to extrude out this text. So the tricky part about this is that we have inside parts and outside. So like the O inside should be cut out of the outside circle. Here, I'll show you guys an example. First, we're going to extrude it out. We're not going to extrude it that much out, but we're going to extrude this inner circle first. Inner circle goes all the way as far as possible. It doesn't really matter how high you go, because we're using that to subtract only. The outside circle is going to go up about 0.5, half an inch, something like that. And then we use our subtract command. You select the outside cylinder first, click enter or space, and then you select the object to subtract, which is the inner cylinder. And you got your O. I think the next part, extrude, the A has a hole inside. So again, we go a little bit higher than half an inch. Keep it that way, and then we extrude again. This part, 0.5. And again, we go subtract. We select the AKT, enter, and this part to cut out. And you keep on doing. If it doesn't have anything to cut out, you can just select it and go 0.5, like there. Let's see, like LL is 0.5. C, or you can select more than one if you know there's a few that don't need to be cut. 0.5. Or you can take the inside of the cutouts and extrude them out completely. There we go, we did that, and I'm going to do the outside parts. They're supposed to be half an inch. .5. And I can do the subtract command. Subtract from this item, enter this part. From this item, enter this part. From this item, enter this part. I'm going back to the same subtract command by just clicking space or enter. It goes back to your previous command. So this part, oops, this part, this. So enter, enter, select, enter, enter, select, enter, enter, select, enter. You get a hang of it. And you should have something like this. What we're going to need to do before we move forward is we're going to add a line to this at the bottom so it can actually hold the text up. Otherwise it's going to be separate letters that are going to print out. There's two ways we're going to do it. We're either going to create platforms underneath, or we're going to create a platform right across the text. So if you were looking at it from the sideways, there should be a 1/8 of an inch platform going right through the object. Those are both options. I'll show you guys probably, actually we'll do both. And we'll still keep this because we're going to rotate this around and use that as our pencil holder next. Okay. So basically our next step would be to rotate the logo. We take the whole entire logo, including the cylinder. Make sure you select the cylinder with it. We do the 3D rotate. I am in my home tab. 3D rotate. This circle comes on, and for my UCX, I need to use the green circle. That will help me rotate it in the angle I'm looking for. It's hard to explain which angle I'm looking for until you guys see what I do. So I rotate it in a way that's perpendicular to the text. And I'm going to move it down to give you guys a little bit better idea of what I'm looking to do. Now mine's longer than yours, so you don't have to worry about that. Mine's should be less than this, but that's okay. I'm going to move it out a little bit more. And to get it more comparable to your size, I will slice mine. So slice. So it should be something like that you guys have. Sliced, you got oakton, rotate this way, and our next issue will be to create a platform for our text to be put together. To do that, I go into top view, I create a rectangle. So I go to my rectangle command. I start at a point that I know is connecting to the text and to my logo. And I do the same thing for the bottom, but I make it a little bit smaller because the text is smaller. If it's too big, it's alright, you can adjust it, but you have to make sure that all the text is being selected. And you gotta make sure that the rectangles are perfectly square, which mine isn't right now. So I have to adjust that by stretching it down and use a reference line. So I have these 2 points. Looks like I can move this one a little bit lower, just enough that it can touch actually the L. So I have something like this. I can actually make it smaller too, stretch it from the bottom. And the top one looks just about fine. It's hitting all the items. Maybe a little bit higher will help it out. There we go. So I have something like that. And my next thing will be to extrude it out. I can either do the same height as the text or make it a little bit shorter. It's really up to you. So I'm going to extrude it. I'm going to do it a little bit shorter. And I'm going to move it up. Like so. And then I move the logo closer, or I move the rectangles out closer to the logo so they're connected. But from what I can see, the bottom was not connected. So I move it over a little bit. Now be careful about snaps, they may cause an issue at this point. Okay, so I have these connected, you can see that. And if you like, since you want to put it on a table, the Y will be an issue because it's going to hit, or you can just leave it as is because it's going to hit this point right here and it's going to be angled a little bit. Or you can create a little box here at this point to make it equal with the logo. I'll show you actually how to do that right now. So I'm going to create a little rectangle at the corner. I'm going to make sure that it's exactly in line with this by stretching it out and across. And I extrude it out, the rectangle, to the same height as what I extruded the platforms. So I have something like this. It's going to be held by this and this on somebody's desk, where they can put their pens at the oakton logo. Let me rotate in a better view. Sometimes playing with this isn't the best. Now if you really want to go even more advanced, what you can do, I just can't get it rotating the right way. Well, you understand what it looks like. Maybe if I do that. No. Anyways, what you can do more advanced is do the oakton sign on both sides, but make them reverse so you can be read from both sides as oakton. But that concludes the pencil holder for oakton. And actually what we would do is actually print these two separately and combine them together, because in that way we use less support material and it's less expensive to run. So if anybody wants to 3D print this, let me know. But I do recommend we add our names on it or something unique that makes it yours, not somebody else's.